This is so wrong. He's got to come home.
For 5 years, David Goldman never gave up.
I'll never stop trying to bring him back, ever.
The fight for Sean began in 2004 when his mother, Bruna, who was from Brazil, took him on a planned family vacation to her home country, but then never returned home again. Bruna asked for a divorce, and David filed a court order demanding Sean be returned to the U.S. for a custody hearing. An international treaty, which Brazil signed, required the country to send Sean back within 6 weeks. But the Brazilian courts ruled Sean shouldn't be separated from his mother and gave her permanent custody.
Why won't they just let me go home with him?
For years, David didn't see his son, just a few phone calls.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Sean.
Then, 3 years later,
My mom married another person, and she said, "This is your dad."
Sean's mother later died during childbirth. David rushed to be with his son, but in a shocking twist, the Brazilian courts gave temporary custody to the mother's new husband.
There's no accountability on Brazil for kidnapping my child.
The fight for Sean continued, sparking an international outrage.
Bring Sean home!
Then, finally, in December of 2009, relief. Sean's Brazilian relatives were ordered by the country's chief justice to return him to his American father immediately. David won.
It's a Christmas miracle.
David and Sean flew home together on a flight chartered by NBC News.
My little boy is 5 feet away, sound asleep, peaceful. We're on our way.
5 years after that flight, Sean was thriving, living with his dad in New Jersey.
The change was good, and I'm happy.
And now the father and son are working to help other families
The Sean and David Goldman International Child Abduction and Prevention Act,
as they mark a new milestone together. And David and Sean Goldman are with us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Is it hard to look back, just to spend those few minutes and seeing those images?
Yeah, it brings some memories up, definitely, but it's something that we have to do in order to help other people.
Yeah, I know you guys are really focused on helping others who might find themselves in that situation. David, you know, we've gotten to know you over the years. When you look at those images and you think about that fight that you went through.
Yeah, it stirs it up. It brings a lot of sadness, and it was a tough journey. It was very difficult, and our outcome was one of the positives, one of the few success stories, and that's why we're here. So we look forward. The sadness in the past is going to be with us for a lifetime, but there's good things to accomplish.
You've been together 10 years now, and it's hard to imagine the time that you lost. I'm sure it's on your mind, but you don't want to focus on it too much. But how was it in those early years? I'm getting to know each other again.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely a little hard at first, but once I kind of got over the whole parental alienation aspect of things.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when this happens in regular custody battles and stuff too, not in, when any time when a parent is alone with a child without the other parent there, and there's like some sort of mix-up, and they're going to be just, trying to skew the child's mind in order to like alienate the parent, to make them a bad person.
Yeah, so you probably weren't sure at first if you could trust your dad.
Yeah, I wasn't even calling him dad.
Yeah. Did you ever, either one of you, get an answer that made sense to you about how this happened, how it is that your former wife, Bruna, took Sean to Brazil?
She just decided our love affair was over, and she wanted to live in Brazil.
Yeah.
That was her words to me, and if I ever wanted to see Sean again, I needed to come down and sign papers that her attorney had drawn up, and if I didn't meet her demands, I would never see Sean again and spend all my money trying.
Yeah. Sean, I know you had relatives there, relatives of your mom. It's hard to lose your mom no matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you able to keep in touch with those relatives, or is that just a bridge too far?
Well, I would if I had the need to or the want to, but I was keeping in contact, but it seemed like it wasn't about me because they were telling the press in Brazil that they weren't keeping in contact with me. So it was just something that I didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah. Tell me about what you're doing now. You really want to help other families, and this is one of the reasons why you're here and talking about these painful things.
Exactly. We can be a voice. We're a success story. In the last decade, there's almost 12,000 parental child abductions. So we've had this law authored by Congressman Smith, signed by President Obama, and today's the 5th anniversary, the 5th-year anniversary that he signed it. And it's almost like a sister or a big brother to the Hague Convention, which is on the civil aspects. And this law gives some more teeth. It can do anything from initially to put a demarche, a public, notice, to shaming the country, because the abductors are going to be bad. When the countries harbor these abductors and don't return them and don't follow the law, we need to say we want our American children back. So this law actually has some punitive measures, all the way up to holding financial assistance to a lot of these countries. Will we give millions and billions of dollars to send our kids home?
I'm sure you would have liked to have the benefit of a law like that when you went through this battle. In just the few minutes we have left, I know people are going to want to know how you're doing. You're 19 now.
Yeah.
You're taller than your dad. And you want to head off to college? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm actually doing 2 years at community college, and I'm going to go off to a 4-year after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will it be hard to be an empty nester and to let him go?
It will. For his personal growth, I'm sure it's good. In a way, I'm glad that he's going to a junior college, so we have some more time and to enjoy the river and things. But our love as a parent is to hopefully have our children leave us one time and on their own path and just be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you want to study?
Probably political science. Yeah.
Is that affected by everything that you went through?
Definitely. It sparked a lot of interest in all this stuff for me.
Yeah. Well, it's so nice to have you here and to catch up with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I feel like we've been watching your story for so many years since you were a little boy. So it's nice to see how well you've grown up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean and David.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.